Welcome to Glasgow's 12 Days of High School, Day 4. Keynote Mastery, the gift of animation. By now, we can all probably create straightforward GIFs. In this session, we're going to look at creating complex GIFs using animation tools in Keynote, like the following. Now, when we create GIFs, we start off with the very basics. We have a number of slides on the left-hand side. We've got 12 in this case. We have our object in the center of each slide. And as we rotate through the slides, as we create new slides, we simply change the position of the object. And as we change the position of the object, we are then creating a motion which shows us how the object rotates. We would then go to our little drop-down menu here. We would tap on Export. We want to animate the GIF, so we tap on Animated GIF. We make sure our slide range here is incorporating all the slides that we want to have. So in this case, we want to have 12. We check our frames per second. That's up to 30. That's fine. We've then got a little slider down here, our Auto Advanced slider, which determines how quickly the animation will move. We then got to make sure our transparent backgrounds is switched on. So we've got that switched on there. And then we would just export the slide deck as a GIF. And you can see from the viewer window here, our object is now animated. And that's how we would animate our basic GIF. But how do we then take that one step further? How do we then create a GIF that's a little bit more complex and incorporating animations? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that next. So to create our complex animated GIF, we're going to open up Keynote. So you see it's down on the right hand side here on the bottom toolbar. So I'm going to tap on Keynote. Then open up Keynote. I'm going to tap on the plus sign here. I'm going to start an outline, just a basic outline like so. Now when it opens up, I'm going to double tap inside the screen, and we want to get rid of all these text boxes here. We're going to get rid of those. One of the first things we need to do is we need to make sure we have a no fill background. So I'm going to make sure the slide's selected here. I'm going to go up to the paintbrush at the top. I'm going to tap on background, and I'm going to choose no fill. And that will then allow us to export our animated GIF. So once we've got the no fill background, we're now ready to start, and we're ready to put in the objects that we want to animate. We're now ready to add our objects onto the slide deck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create one of the animated GIFs that you saw at the start of the 12 Days of High School project, and the intro video and the outro video. So I'm going to come up to my shapes up here. I'm going to choose the square. I'm going to enlarge that square because I want it to be quite big. So I'll put that in the center there, so I know it's in the center. Then I'm going to go up to the paintbrush in the top right, and I'm going to go down to where it says fill, because I don't want it filled. And I'm just going to slide along here to the very end where it says no fill, and I'm going to tap on no fill, and that means now our object does not have anything inside it. It's completely empty. So I come back to style now, but I do want it to have a border. So I tap on border. I want the style just to be a line, and you can see here that the color of the line is black. Now, I don't want it to be black, so I'm going to tap on the color. I want it to be white, so it's visible. I come out of style, and I'm going to increase the width of the line here as well. I want it to be quite chunky. So now I've got the line here like this. This is my basic outline, and I want to animate this outline of the shape. So what I do is I tap on it. We know it's selected because I can see the blue dots, the blue points on each of the sides. So I know I've got this object selected, and I can now do something with it. So I come up to my toolbar at the top, and you can see I've got the animations here. So I could do it that way, or I could make sure it's selected, tap inside the object, move along to the toolbar at the top, and I can animate from here as well. So you can decide what way you want to do it. So I'm going to tap on animate. I've now got add build in, add action, add build out. So I'm going to add a build in action. So I'm going to tap on that. You can see down below I have lots and lots of different animations that I can use to enhance the object. Now for this purpose, I'm going to choose the line draw option. And you can see here it's drawing the line for me, which is pretty cool. Once I've got that option the way I want it, that's what I want it to do, I tap on done in the top left hand side. That then applies that animation to the object. But what I need to do is I need to go into the animation itself, and when I tap on line draw, it then gives me a whole load of other options that I can have. So I've got the start one, so I'm going to tap on the start one because I don't want to tap on the screen to start the animation. I want the animation to start after the transition, so it starts immediately. I've then got the delivery of it. If I was using text, I could deliver it by paragraph, by group, or by highlighted. In this case, we're going to use all at once. I can then choose whether there's any acceleration, if it eases in or eases out. I'm going to put none for this purpose. I don't really need it to accelerate at the moment. That could change as we go on. And then I've got options where I can run it clockwise, like so. So it's animating clockwise. Or I can run it anti-clockwise, like so. And you can choose how you want it to be animated. So at the moment, what I'm planning on doing, I'm planning on inserting a tick on the right hand side of the box. So I'm going to keep it clockwise for the moment, because I'm not quite sure how it's all going to fit together. I've then got a duration, so I can change my duration here, how long the animation takes. I'm going to leave it at 3 seconds for the moment. Obviously, when we start putting more things in, that may change. So I've got everything the way I want it at the moment. I tap anywhere on the screen, get rid of the options, and I tap done. And now I'm ready to add in the second part of the animation. So for the second part of the animation, I'm going to add a tick. So I'm going to make sure that this box is not selected anymore. So I tap anywhere on the screen. I now go up to my shapes, and I've already got a tick ready to go. But if you need to find a tick, basically just go into the search bar at the top, tap in tick, and there you go, you've got your options here. So I'm going to use the dingbat tick for this purpose. Now, as you can see, our tick is completely full. It has the color blue. That's not what I want in for this particular task. So again, I'm going to make sure it's selected with the points all around it. That tells me it's selected. I go up to the paintbrush again. I go to fill again. And again, like we did with the box, we're going to choose no fill. We're going to go back to style. We're going to give it a border. You can see the border style is a line. You can change that if you want. There's lots of different styles you can use, but for this purpose, I'm going to keep it as a solid line. The color of the line is black. Again, I want to change that to white, but you can choose other colors if you wish, but I'm going to keep it white. And I'm going to increase the thickness of the line. I'm going to take this one up to about 6 points. And there we have our tick ready to go. But as you can see, it's in the way of the box at the moment. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure it's selected again. I'm going to use the toolbar here along the top. I'm going to go to animate here as well. And at this point, I've got my add build in, add action, add build out. And again, for this purpose, I'm going to tap add build in. I've got my line draw option here again, so I want to select that. And you can see there, it does a little line draw, and that draws the tick for us. So now I'm going to tap on done. Now I've got the animation where I want it, and it's ready to go. I now need to go into the settings. So you open up the toolbar, tap on animate, tap on line draw again, and again, I want to start the animation. In this case, I'm thinking I'm going to start it with build 1. So I'm going to try it and see how that works. So I can add a delay if I want. I'm not going to add a delay just yet. So it's going to start with build 1. Now build 1 refers to the animation we did with the square. So both of them should start simultaneously. Again, I've got the option here, the delivery option. I'm going to do it all at once. I've also got acceleration. So at the moment, I'm going to put none, but again, that could change. And then I've got the duration as well, and whether it goes clockwise or anti-clockwise. Now, if I run it clockwise, you'll see the whole animation, right, that's not quite working out right because I've got the line, you'll see the line running through the tick. Don't quite want that to happen. So what can I do here? Well, there's a couple of things I could do. I could change the direction of the tick. So I'm going to choose anti-clockwise. Let's see what happens here. Again, the line's going through the tick, not quite what I want. But I think at this point, it's nothing to do with the tick. The tick seems to be okay. So I'm probably going to have to go back and check out the animation for the square. Now I could tap done and go backwards, or I can just tap on the square itself. That'll then bring up the animation of the square options. So I can choose anti-clockwise here. Let's see what happens when I do that. Okay, so still not quite right. I've still got the line going through it. And what I really want to achieve is the line going so that they don't cross paths. So let me see if I can speed up the square. Let's see if I change it to 1 second. Let's see what happens now. It's just still going through it. So let me try clockwise this time. And you can see all you're trying to do here is just play around with the animations and see how you can get it exactly the way you want it. And it takes a little bit of practice and it's a bit of trial and error. Now I've done this already, but it always helps to try things out. And the beauty of this is we can flip between one and the other without actually tapping the done button. So I'm going to play it again, see what happens this time. Oh, was a little bit closer this time. So I can see the tick now seems to be moving a little bit too quick. So let me slow down the tick. So I'm going to put that back up to, I'm going to put it to 4 seconds now. And let's see what happens. And there we are, almost there. It's a little bit too slow, so I'm going to speed up the tick a little bit. I'm also going to try and see if I can make the tick go clockwise, just to see what happens. And there we have it, it's a little bit better. The tick's still a little bit slow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try the ease out option here and see what happens now. It's a little bit better. Okay, still feeling it's a little bit slow on the tick. I'm going to speed that up a little bit and try it again. Almost there, almost there. I'm going to slow it down a little bit by 0.25 of a second. Doesn't seem a lot, but when you're thinking about how the animations are going to work, it can be quite important. So let me just run that now. And that is almost the way I want it. That's almost, in fact, I would say that's perfect. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Once I've got the settings the way I want it, I tap done. And now we're ready to export the animation. So I go up to my little sub menu, I go to export, I go to animated GIF. I'm only using one slide here, which is okay, because we've put a couple animations on the one slide. Make sure it's in Excel, make sure I've got transparent backgrounds on, and this slider, the auto advanced slider here, then allows me to determine how quick the animation moves. So although you've made changes in the settings itself, you can actually still change how quickly it moves. So I'm going to tap on export and let's see how it runs. Not bad, it's a little bit slow, so I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go back up to my options again. I'm going to go back to animated GIF and make it a little bit quicker. I'm going to export. Let's see how it works now. That's not bad. That's not bad. Quite like that. So I then tap on share. That then allows me to save the image or save the GIF. I've now saved that into my photos. So if I come out of this and go into my photo library, I've now got my animation here, like so. Now, what I can also do at this point is I can go back to Keynote. So for example, if I wanted to add this, export this as a video, a movie, I could go up to my options here, I could go to export, I can tap on movie. Again, it will give me all these options here. I can change the resolution, the frame rate, with there's multiple slides. That's fine, it's exactly the way I want it. And I can then export that as a movie as well. And if I tap on save video, it'll actually save the animation. So if I go back to my photos, if I come back here, there's my video there. I'm now playing the video like so, and that then allows me to add these animations into other slides. Now, the video stands on its own, it's a video itself, but the GIF, if I come back to Keynote now, if I wanted to add another slide, so I can duplicate this one, and I want to get rid of this, I'm just going to show you quickly how I do this. I go up to my photo or video options here. I want to add in the GIF that we did the first time. So that then brings me to this one here. So I think it's, let me just see if it's this one here. Yep. So that now allows me to add in my GIF. And if I tap on play, you can see I've got my animation here. Now, the possibilities here are endless because I could add multiple GIFs in to the one slide. So if I come up to my photo and video here, I've got some GIFs that I made earlier. It sounds like something out of Blue Peter. But if I scroll all the way down, there's some I made earlier. Let's see if I can find them. Possibly this one. Let's just see. Okay, this is actually the whole video I did for that, so that's fine. And you can see now we can actually add in further GIFs here. So that's the wrong, yep, that's the one we want back. So we've got our tick here. And what I'm looking for is, I'm actually looking for the other ones that I did. So let's just see if we got them here. Let's see if this can be added as well. Yep, there we've got, there's another one. So I've now got two GIFs here and I can make them run at the same time. So I'm just going to get rid of this so I can show you how this works. So I've got both my GIFs here. Now what I need to do is I need to go to animation, and there I've got start build movie, so the movie would start, and then if I go to the little hamburger up in the top right, I've then got all my different movies. I don't know why this is, I've got an extra one in here, that's fine. So I can then move this out the way, didn't realise that was still there, so I should have 3 of them I think now. Let me just move this out the way here. No, I've still got 2, that's weird, it's saying it's there. Anyway, I go to animate, go to my burger, I can then say it starts on tap or it starts with build 1, I can then tap on that one that starts with build 1 as well, and what should happen is all of the animations should play at the same time. And now I've got them ready to go, they're all set up, both are going to play simultaneously. I tap done, and then what I can do, I tap the play button up in the toolbar, tap play, and you can see both our animations are running simultaneously. And that's how you would create complex GIFs using animations and Keynote. So you can play around with them, figure out what ones you want to do, get creative and have fun.